is. Imagine just like watching some funny viral videos online. You know, the stuff you probably scroll through anyway. And that, just watching and reacting, could somehow turn into earning over $224,000 a year. I mean, that sounds pretty wild, right?
It really does, especially when the material we looked at calls it a super lazy side hustle.
Super lazy. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're going to dive into today. We've been digging through these sources you share, the ones that really unpack this whole thing, finding videos, already huge on TikTok or Instagram, recording yourself reacting to them, and then sort of mashing it together and re-uploading it to YouTube, especially YouTube Shorts.
Right. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to go through all that material and figure out how this is actually being done, like in the real world, who's supposedly making it work. Because the sources, they give some really specific channel examples.
Okay.
And what are the potential earnings? We've got estimates. And then, yeah, the step-by-step using tools and material says are completely free.
Right. So let's unpack it. We're taking all this info you've gathered and trying to make sense of this pretty surprising online trend.
Yeah.
Extracting the core ideas.
Well, the fascinating part, I think, is the core idea, the basic mechanic of it all. You start by finding a video that's already massive. It went viral on TikTok, maybe Instagram.
So the hard work's kind of done. It's proven.
Exactly. The audience is there. The algorithm liked it somewhere else already.
And then here comes the part that sounds almost too simple. You just film yourself watching it, like with your phone.
Yeah, just your phone or a basic webcam. That's what the material suggests. And then using these free web tools they mention, you basically stick the two together. Your reaction usually takes up maybe like a third of the screen, and the original viral clip is right there next to it, or maybe above or below.
So you've made something sort of new, but it's built entirely on existing popular stuff.
Precisely. And the theory, or at least what's outlined in the material, is because you're latching onto something already viral. Your new combined video, once it hits YouTube, it might just catch that same wave, go viral again.
Racking up millions of views, maybe really quickly.
Which then, naturally, could mean real money through YouTube's ad revenue sharing. It's a method described, like you said, as one of the laziest side hustles the author claimed to have seen. They even said it's kind of controversial.
Controversial just because it seems so easy. Low effort, maybe?
Perhaps. But, okay, look at the results the material points to. There's this channel, Surfin' Boy, mentioned as a prime example. In just 2 years, doing exactly this, the channel apparently got over 5 million subscribers.
Wow, 5 million. From reaction clips.
Yeah, the author talks about finding his channel and just being kind of blown away by how fast it grew. Looking at the public data, this channel apparently pulled in over 74 million views in just the last 30 days before the material was written, mostly from shorts.
And the videos themselves are bad.
Exactly what we're talking about. Simple reactions. Clips already viral elsewhere. The material even uses one specific example of video from Surfin' Boy with 12 million views. And he's reacting to a TikTok of someone icing a cookie.
Icing a cookie. And that got 12 million views, his reaction to it.
Yep. And what's interesting, and the material points this out, is his commentary wasn't like super deep or anything, often just describing what's happening or, basic reactions. Oh, wow, look at that. But because the original cookie video was something millions already wanted to watch, his reaction also got 12 million views.
Okay, that really drives home the point about, riding the coattails of existing popularity. But, all right, the money. Let's talk potential earnings. How much could this actually bring in?
So the research in the material looked into this. It looked at what YouTubers were reporting, especially for shorts revenue. The general range seemed to be at least 10 to 12 cents per thousand views, often closer to 14 or 15 cents per thousand. That's the RPM, the rate per mil.
10 or 12 cents per thousand. Doesn't sound like a ton on its own, but you scale that up to 12 million views on one video.
Right. So using the really conservative low end, that 10 cents per thousand views, that single cookie reaction video could have made over $1,200 US.
$1,200 from one short reaction video.
According to those estimates, yeah. And the material mentions this was apparently during a slow month for this Surfin' Boy channel. Usually it says he gets over 100 million views a month.
Okay, wait. If he's doing 100 million views a month,
yeah,
what does that look like annually?
Well, if you take that 100 million views a month, stretch it over a year, and stick with that conservative 10-cent RPM, the material calculates he could potentially be making over $224,000 US a year.
Whoa.
That number comes straight from the view counts and the typical ad rates cited in the source material.
That's pretty nuts for something described as lazy.
Okay, but hang on. The material must mention this, right? To make money from YouTube Shorts ads, you need to qualify. There are thresholds, aren't there? Like 10 million views in 90 days
Yeah.
and 1,000 subscribers. Yes, absolutely. And that's a really important point. 10 million views sounds huge, like a massive hurdle. But the material points out, because you're piggybacking off viral stuff, that one 12 million view cookie video we talked about, that reportedly got Surfin' Boy the 12 million views and over 1,000 subscribers in basically one day.
One day. So you could hit the monetization threshold with just one really successful video.
It seems possible, yeah. If one of these reaction videos really takes off, like that example suggests, it's challenging for sure, but doable according to the source.
Okay, but maybe Surfin' Boy is just like a one-off,
Yeah.
a lucky outlier.
That's a fair question. And the author of the material apparently wondered the same thing and dug a bit deeper. What they reported finding was, and I quote loosely, tons of other YouTube channels succeeding just like this one.
Oh, really? Like who?
Well, they mentioned a few others. DragonFacts was one.
DragonFacts, what's their angle?
This is interesting. Apparently, this channel doesn't even involve talking in the videos.
Wait, silent reactions.
Seems so. The examples show the creator watching, like, cute or funny videos and just smiling, nodding, maybe a thumbs up. Purely visual reactions.
And that works?
Well, the material highlights one of their videos with over 11 million views where the creator is totally silent. And this channel was pretty new when the material was written, maybe 8 months old.
Yeah.
And it already had over 200 million views and 1 million subscribers.
Wow. Okay, so silent can work too, based on these examples.
Yeah, though the material does also mention another channel, Michelle Reacts, doing a silent try not to laugh thing with big views too. But there's a little note of caution in there, some uncertainty about whether YouTube will keep monetizing totally silent reaction content long term.
Ah, okay.
So the suggestion seems to be that adding some kind of commentary might be a safer bet going forward.
Gotcha. Any other examples?
Yeah, it's not just adults either. The material brings up Munson Reacts. This is reportedly a teenager doing the same kind of thing. He does talk in his videos, though, and apparently also gets massive views, millions consistently.
A teenager. Okay, that brings up the age question. The material must cover that, right?
Yeah.
Can teenagers actually earn from this?
It does. According to the information presented, yes, they can. YouTube allows kids as young as 13 to have their own channel. Now, for the money part, turning on ads and getting paid, you need a guardian involved to set up the AdSense account. That's standard.
Okay.
But the material notes YouTube's terms allow parents or guardians to do this legally for a minor. The perspective offered is basically, most parents would probably be fine with setting that up if their kid's channel actually qualified and started earning some money.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got the concept, the kind of surprising potential money involved based on the data, and specific examples of channels doing it. Let's get practical now. How does someone actually make these videos according to the material? Using free tools, right? Yeah. Step 1, finding the videos.
Right, finding those really viral videos. You could just scroll forever, I guess. But the approach outlined suggests using AI, like ChatGPT, maybe just to brainstorm some niche ideas first.
Like asking it for ideas.
Yeah, like suggest some niches for funny or cute viral videos to react to.
Yeah.
The material used weird food combinations as an example query.
Okay, weird food. So you get an idea, then what? Head to TikTok.
Yep, specifically the TikTok mobile app. You search your niche weird food combinations, click the filter button, and here's the key bit. Filter the results by the number of likes.
Ah, so you immediately see the most popular, the most viral videos in that exact category using TikTok's own data.
Exactly, letting the platform tell you what's already working. The material shows finding a weird food video this way and points out how simple it would be to react just giving your opinion on the combos shown.
Okay, find a winner based on likes. Then you need the video file itself.
Yeah, the material mentions just using a free website tool to download the TikTok video. Simple enough, then film yourself watching it.
And this isn't faceless, right? The material stresses you have to be on camera.
Correct. It emphasizes that your face, your reactions, that's what supposedly transforms it into a new type of video, a reaction video. And that's key for potentially getting monetized.
And filming yourself doesn't need fancy gear.
Apparently not. A good camera's fine, obviously. But the material says a simple webcam can work. It even cites another YouTuber, Jackie Z, with like 80 million views using just a webcam.
Or just your phone. Probably easiest for most people.
Probably. But if you use your phone, there's a specific instruction highlighted.
What's that?
Film your reaction in landscape mode, horizontally.
Oh, interesting. Why landscape if shorts are vertical?
Because the way successful channels like Jackie Z structure these according to the material. The original viral video, often vertical, takes up maybe the bottom 2/3 of the vertical short frame,
Yeah.
and your reaction video fits into a smaller landscape box at the top. So you need to film your part horizontally to fit that layout.
Got it. Landscape reaction. Okay. And audio. What if you don't have a microphone?
Material says don't sweat it initially, because there's an AI tool they mention later that can clean it up. They even showed filming their own example reaction just propping their phone up with some board games. You know, keeping it totally free to start.
Huh. Okay, resourcefulness. So you got your reaction clip, landscape, and the downloaded viral clip. Next is editing.
Yep. And the recommendation is the free web-based editor, CapCut. There's a mobile app too, apparently.
CapCut? Heard of it. So what are you doing there?
You start a new project in the 9:16 format, that's the vertical format for shorts, upload both clips, your landscape reaction, and the vertical viral video you downloaded.
Okay.
Drag your reaction clip onto the timeline, position it maybe at the top like we discussed, then drag the viral video clip onto the timeline. Now at first it'll probably cover up your reaction clip because it's big and vertical.
Right. So how do you fix that?
CapCut has a cropping tool. You use that to crop the viral video down, so it takes up maybe the bottom 2/3 of that 9:16 frame. Now you can see both, your smaller landscape reaction at the top, the bigger vertical viral clip below it.
Okay. Visual layout sorted. What else?
Super important point, heavily stressed in the material, you must silence the original audio from the viral video clip.
Especially if it has music.
Exactly. Copyrighted music is a huge risk. Fail to mute it, and you'll likely get a copyright strike, no monetization. Silencing it in CapCut is usually just clicking a sound icon. Simple but crucial.
Right. Mute the original, then sync things up.
Yeah, just make sure your reaction starts and ends roughly with the viral clip. CapCut has a split tool to trim your reaction clip easily.
And you can add text and stuff.
You can. The material mentions that successful channels like Surfin' Boy often credit the original creator, like their TikTok handle. And it shows how you can easily add a text box in CapCut, maybe with a background, put it somewhere on screen, and make sure it appears for the whole video link.
Okay, video edited. But what about that phone audio? You mentioned an AI tool.
Yes, this sounds pretty cool, actually. The material highlights Adobe's free AI tool. It's called Podcast Enhanced Speech.
Adobe Podcast Enhance. Free.
Apparently so. To use it with your CapCut edit, you first export the video from CapCut. Then you need another free tool, the material suggested one, called Biteable, but others might work just to upload that video and rip out the audio track as a separate file, like an MP3 or WAV.
So you isolate just your voice from the reaction clip.
Exactly. You take that audio file, upload it to the Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech website, and the AI does its thing. Machine learning cleans up background noise, echo, sharpens it all up. The claim in the material is it makes it sound almost like it was recorded in a pro studio, like a professional podcast.
Wow, they could be a game changer for low-budget setups. Did they show an example?
They did, a before and after. And yeah, the difference in clarity was described as genuinely impressive.
Okay, that sounds incredibly useful. So you get this enhanced audio file back from Adobe. Then what?
Back in the CapCut you go. Upload the new, clean audio file. Now, you mute the original audio track from your phone webcam reaction clip.
Right, get rid of the noisy original.
And drag the new enhanced audio onto the timeline, lining it up so it syncs perfectly with your reaction visuals.
Clever. Okay, so video's done, audio's enhanced. Final step.
Export the final video from CapCut. Material says choose high quality 1080p resolution, good for shorts.
And that's it. You have the video file.
That's reportedly it, ready to upload. The material suggests doing the upload via the YouTube mobile app is easiest. Hit the plus button, choose your video, write a caption, maybe hint at what the viral clip is about, and post it as a short. Done. Though the creator of the material did explicitly say they wouldn't be doing this themselves, wasn't their personal interest. But they laid out the steps based on their research for anyone who was interested.
Right. Okay, let's pull this all together then. Key takeaways from this deep dive into the source material. We've seen the core mechanic, piggybacking off existing viral stuff, which can lead to potentially incredibly rapid view growth. Hitting those monetization thresholds, 10 million views in 90 days, may be surprisingly fast.
And we saw specific examples highlighted. Surfin' Boy, DragonFacts doing silent reactions. Michelle Reacts also silent. Munson reacts as a teenager who does talk, showing it's not just one channel.
Yeah, different styles working. We looked at the potential earnings estimates from the material, that 10-15 cents per thousand views, which, when applied to the massive view count some channels are getting, leads to those eyebrow-raising annual figures like the over $224,000 calculation for Surfin' Boy.
And we walked through the practical steps using those free tools described, using AI like ChatGPT for ideas, the TikTok filter trick for finding viral hits, CapCut for the actual editing, Biteable or similar to Extract Audio, and then that Adobe Podcast Enhance AI to make the sound quality way better, even from just a phone. Plus, the confirmation that teenagers can apparently participate with Guardian help for the payment side, based on platform rules.
It really does circle back to that initial description, doesn't it? This super lazy angle. The surprising simplicity described in the material contrasted with the potentially huge results some people seem to be getting.
So, based on everything we've gone through from the sources, you should now have a pretty clear picture of this specific online activity, how it's done according to the material, and the results people are reporting.
Okay, so here's a final thought, just something to chew on based on all this. Given how much this whole strategy seems to rely on finding existing viral hits and really leveraging the current algorithms both on TikTok and Instagram to find the content and on YouTube Shorts to push the reaction, what are the long-term stability of this? What happens if those platforms change their algorithms or update their rules about reaction content or just decide to surface videos differently? How fragile is this kind of income stream? Definitely something to think about.